Through my years of reading and analytical discussions of Sophocles' King Oedipus, I see that the play has some allusions to the Buddha's life events and some Buddhist concepts in terms of characterization, plot development, and thematic development. However, I'm not going to analyze the allusions to the Buddhist concepts in this presentation. I'm not going to relate those allusions to the theme, plot, or character development in detail either. In this brief presentation, I'll superficially attend to the allusions to the Buddha in terms of character development and plot structure, but not in detail. I will analyze them in detail in two to three different presentations. Then we can discuss those allusions while relating them to character development, the development of the themes, and the plot development. This is not a deep analysis. My intention in this presentation is to show you those allusions and to encourage you to further explore them. I used a few translations for my exploration, for more than 8 to 10. But I will present my findings while referring to E.F. Watling's translation. Additionally, I will refer to Fegel's translation. I have written and published 2 articles on this issue, and you could see the references in the final slide. In Buddhist literature, we believe that on baby Siddhartha's naming ceremony, ascetic Asita declared that Siddhartha would become a great monarch if he would remain at home. And if he would leave home, Asita said that Siddhartha would become the Buddha. This conversation that I have quoted and written down here, and this conversation that takes place between Jocasta and Corinthian messenger alludes to the conversation that took place between Asita and Suddhodana, Siddhartha's father. Seeing baby Siddhartha, ascetic Asita first smiled and then cried. Suddhodana asked, as Jocasta does here in this conversation, why Asita smiled and cried simultaneously. It is then that Asita told Suddhodana that Siddhartha would be a Buddha if he would leave home, and he would become a great monarch if he would remain home. Here, the messenger does not say what would happen to Oedipus if he would remain at home, but we can infer that his life would end up as a tragedy if he would remain at home. If he would leave, in contrast, he would become the king in Corinth, in all the isthmus. In contrast to the Buddhist tale, Oedipus would find the truth if he would remain at home, and it would bring suffering to him and to the others. Corinthian messenger refers to Jocasta by his greetings. In Buddhist literature, we have heard that Kisa Gotami, a close relative to Siddhartha, had recited Nibbutta verses, the verses of greetings and well wishes, seeing Prince Siddhartha passing her palace. By the 3rd and the 4th lines of the quoted Pali verse, Kisa Gotami wishes that a woman who is married to Siddhartha is blessed indeed. What messenger means with his utterance is the same. The central conflict in King Oedipus is finding the killer of lies, the former king. But I think that the real problem is exploring the truth. Who really am I? Who really am I? In this sense, should be the real problem. We can use the Thakur's well as a good analog to understand the central conflict in King Oedipus. The water problem is a symbolic problem in Thakur's well, and its real problem is the caste problem, the caste conflict. In King Oedipus, first Oedipus tries to explore the truth in the outside world while fighting with everyone around him. We can see him fighting with the Theban citizens. We can see him fighting with Tiresias. And then we can see him fighting with Creon in his attempt to find the truth in the outside world. However, Oedipus at some point realizes that he cannot find the truth in the external world. In his conversation with Jocasta, Oedipus finds for the first time a clue that he needs to turn inside if he truly wants to find the truth. It means he has to find the truth within himself. In his next conversation with the Corinthian messenger, Oedipus gets a chance to dig deeper and dive deep into his heart's darkness. Finally, he realizes the truth. Additionally, he realizes that bodily senses, the five senses, do not help people to perceive the world as it is, as it truly exists. The five senses show a person on illusion, but not the reality. For example, Oedipus, being a person with clearer eyesight and a great wisdom, could not see who he is, whom he killed on his way at a crossroad, and who he is living with. We believe that Siddhartha was born and attained the Buddhahood on a full moon day. He passed away again on a full moon day. Even Oedipus's birth, enlightenment, and the metaphorical death occur as the action of the drama, events of the drama unfold on a full moon day. Tiresias says that Oedipus would die the day he comes to know about his birth. What Tiresias says metaphorically means that Oedipus was born and would die on the same day. Additionally, he would die after realizing who he is, which means his enlightenment occurs on the same day. The only thing that we need to explore then is whether all these three incidents occur on a full moon day. Immediately before Shepherd reveals who Oedipus' parents are, Chorus, the Theban elders, say that Oedipus will realize who he is on the following day, a full moon day. Oedipus' determination at this moment, when he says, "Let all come out, however vile, however base it be, I must unlock the secret of my birth." It makes an allusion to ascetic Siddhartha sitting at the Bodhi tree on a full moon day, with the determination that he would not get up without attaining the Buddhahood. He sat there. With his act of trying to find his parents, if his parents turn out to be slaves, we know that Oedipus keeps his life at risk. If he were identified to be a slave, he would lose his material wealth and human relationships. However, he is determined to explore the truth at the risk of anything that he was going to lose. What is more important for him is not material wealth, but finding the truth. Nothing but the truth. As the Theban elders predict, Oedipus gets the shepherd reveal who he really is in the next scene. Then he realizes that he is Lysis and Jocasta's son. In addition to identifying who the killer is and who he really is, Oedipus realizes that he cannot understand the world through the available physical senses. He realizes that physical senses guide him to perceive the world as he wants, but not how it really exists. He realizes that there is a greater difference between how things appear and how they truly exist. He realizes that people live in an illusion that leads to disillusion. He realizes that people are suffering as a result of these illusory perceptions, and they can find a lasting peace only by liberating themselves from this illusion and keeping their mind at a place where suffering cannot reach it. Oedipus's life philosophy. We look to you to help his fellow men with all his power is man's most noble work. Sounds quite similar to the Buddha's life philosophy. The Buddha said to the first gathering of his disciple monks to go from place to place and guide people to liberate themselves from the everlasting suffering through the births and rebirths. We use the epithet Yathavadi Tathakari for the Buddha because rather than just saying to the monks to walk and help guide the people to end suffering, the Buddha himself walked from one place to another in all his lifetime for 45 years by guiding people to liberate themselves from the samsaric suffering. When the Buddha ordained Rahula, the little prince, we know that Suddhodana met the Buddha and asked him not to ordain children without having permission from their parents. Additionally, he revealed to the Buddha how a parent's love for children pierces through cartilages, bones, and then to one's soul. This dialogue suggests Oedipus' situation at this moment, where he has already blinded his own eyes. What he suffers is not only due to his physical pain. He suffers also due to the pain that has been caused by his present status, where he has to say goodbye to his own children. He has already lost his mother and father, whom he has never met in his lifetime, whom he has always wanted to avoid due to a horrible prediction. The Pali verse means that it is painful if we lose people who we love, and also it is painful if we are to meet people who we don't like to live together. Readers need to infer the meaning because I cannot discuss certain emotional and moral issues in detail in this presentation. The quote I took from Fegel's translation also affirms that it is not solely the physical pain that Oedipus is referring to. And here you can see my two articles One is Sophocles' King Oedipus, a Buddhist talk in drama form, and the second, the Buddha in Sophocles' tragedy, King Oedipus, an intertextual analysis. Additionally, you can see the translations that I referred to when exploring the Buddha's events in King Oedipus. In the next video, we can use the same life events, but while relating them to the characterization. Until then, thank you.